After more than 3 decades of wit, wisdom, and whimsical monologues, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is preparing to dim the lights for the final time in May 2026. Yes, folks, grab the tissues and maybe a pint of ice cream, because it's the end of an era. But while the talk show desk may soon be gathering dust, one thing in Stephen Colbert's life has remained as consistent as his razor-sharp humor: his unwavering love for his wife, Evelyn McGee Colbert, affectionately known as Evie. Their enduring love story is the kind of romantic comedy Hollywood dreams about, minus the awkward montages and slow motion running through airports, theater, thunderbolts, and a whole lot of fate. The sparks between Stephen and Evelyn first flew over 30 years ago at a theater in Charleston. Picture it: Colbert standing in the lobby, probably trying to appear casually intellectual, as one does, when in walks Evelyn, cue instant fireworks, and not the cheap kind either. Colbert has said that the moment he saw her, he knew, as in knew. "I looked at her and thought, that's your wife. You're going to marry her," he once revealed. Bold? Definitely. But also incredibly romantic, unless you're the girl he was dating at the time. Whoops. As fate would have it, Colbert had just returned home for a deep, soul-searching conversation with his mother about a potential engagement with his then-girlfriend. The verdict? A motherly mic drop. If you don't know, then the answer's no. And just like that, the door to a new chapter swung wide open. That very night, Colbert attended a musical called Hydrogen Jukebox. Yes, that's a real title. No, we don't know what it means either. But more importantly, that's where he met Evelyn. Fate didn't just knock. It basically kicked the door down with jazz hands. "Oh, you're that McGee." As if the universe wasn't already throwing enough cosmic glitter on their story, it turns out their families had been acquainted for years. They even grew up in the same area, but went to gender-segregated schools. It was a classic case of ships passing in the night, except the ships were school buses, and the port was Charleston, South Carolina. At an after-party, their eyes met again, and they both had a "wait, I know you" moment. Evelyn was from the all-girls school, Stephen from the all-boys one, but somehow they had never connected, until destiny, and possibly Allen Ginsberg's poetry, brought them together. A wedding full of mirrors and baritone horns. After a whirlwind courtship that included, no joke, Stephen showing up to a date serenading Evelyn with a baritone horn, the two tied the knot in October 1993. If that's not a sign of devotion, or at least a very quirky sense of romance, we don't know what is. They married long before Colbert became a late-night superstar. Back then, he was just a guy with a dream, a horn, and impeccable timing. "What do you remember about our wedding?" Stephen once asked. Evelyn's answer: "How nervous you were." Sounds about right. Evie, not just Mrs. Colbert. While Stephen may bask in the spotlight nightly, Evelyn is a powerhouse behind the curtain. She's not only a former actress, with roles in Strangers with Candy, Alpha House, and even The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, but she's also a respected film producer. Currently serving as Vice President of Spartina Productions, Colbert's company, and President of the Montclair Film Board of Trustees, Evelyn has a resume that would make even the most overachieving LinkedIn user sweat. And during the pandemic, when TV production ground to a halt, and many of us forgot how to wear pants, Evelyn became instrumental in helping Colbert produce his Emmy-winning election night special from home. He even joked that the best thing about the pandemic was having her on the show, which is probably the only good thing about the pandemic anyone has said. Domestic bliss in Montclair, NJ. Together, they've built a cozy life in Montclair, New Jersey, raising 3 kids, Madeline, Peter, and John. Locals often describe them as approachable and genuinely down-to-earth. Imagine bumping into Stephen Colbert at the grocery store while he debates the merits of organic kale. Montclair's got that kind of vibe. Evelyn, meanwhile, has been a driving force behind the Montclair Film Festival, and the couple have both supported New Jersey's arts and education scenes, especially during tough times. They're not just late-night royalty, they're the patron saints of indie cinema and PTA bake sales. Another late-night love tale. But wait, Stephen isn't the only one with a heart-melting love story. Let's hop over to another tall, funny, red-headed national treasure, Conan O'Brien. Before he became the longest-serving late-night host in history, Conan was just another awkward, hyper-intelligent comedy writer who doubted he could ever replace David Letterman. Enter stage left, Lisa Kudrow. Yes, food buffet herself. Back in the 90s, Kudrow and O'Brien had a short-lived romance that blossomed in an improv class. But the relationship left a lasting impact, not because of sparks, but because Lisa believed in him when he didn't believe in himself. "You have to do Saturday Night Live. I have complete confidence in you," she told him. Conan, like many comedy writers, responded with a deflective joke. Lisa, undeterred, insisted, "You're the guy. You just don't see it yet." Plot twist. She was absolutely right, meeting the real love of his life. In 1999, while filming a remote segment for Late Night, Conan met advertising executive Lisa Powell. She was working at FCB, one of the biggest agencies in the US, and was brought in for a skit. Cupid clearly brought his A game that day because Conan was immediately smitten. "I wasn't even trying to be funny," he later said. "I just wanted to talk to her." For a guy whose career was built on gags and timing, this moment was disarming and adorable. They married in 2002 and have 2 children together, daughter Naven and son Beckett. Through late-night chaos and NBC scandals. But their relationship wasn't all laughter and romantic ad segments. In 2010, the entertainment world practically caught fire over The Tonight Show debacle, when NBC decided to bring Jay Leno back into the fold and bump Conan out of the host seat. Cue drama, heartbreak, and memes that still live on Tumblr. Throughout the media circus, Lisa stood by him. While the tabloids spun stories and fans rallied online, she was Conan's grounding force. "It felt like they never really gave him the job," she said. "It was just heartbreaking to watch." And that's the thing about these late-night couples. They face not just career highs and lows, but real emotional roller coasters, ones that would test even the strongest bonds. But both Conan and Stephen found partners who weren't just supportive, but actively helped shape their journeys. What makes these couples so lovable? Well, aside from being ridiculously charming and suspiciously good at marriage, they've all taken life's curveballs and turned them into punchlines. Whether it's Colbert's baritone horn or Conan getting stage fright in front of his future wife, their relationships are full of vulnerability, humor, and partnership. They support each other's careers, but also know when to pull the plug and just be together. Whether it's sharing a screen or a bottle of wine after a long day, both couples have found their rhythm. Romance, but make it late night. The love stories of Stephen and Evelyn and Conan and Lisa prove that true romance doesn't always look like candlelit dinners or handwritten sonnets. Sometimes it's attending weird musical performances. Sometimes it's whispering "you've got this" before a big break. And sometimes it's just being the person who knows when to take the baritone away. As The Late Show prepares to take its final bow in 2026, one thing is clear. Colbert's greatest legacy might not be his monologues or Emmys, but the fact that he turned a theater lobby crush into a decades-long love story. And Conan? Well, thanks to a psychic food buffet and a serendipitous sketch, he found not only his career, but his soulmate too. If that's not romantic, then folks, you've been watching the wrong late-night shows. And that's a wrap on 2 of the sweetest love stories in late-night history. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.